right? And so if you like pigeons, guess what? You can join a club. And so we're here with Greg Kapp, and you are with your Connecticut's pigeon expert, and I'm reading this. You're the honcho at the Faircount Pigeon Club.
Correct.
Right, okay. And I had no idea that there was a pigeon club anywhere, let alone here.
Well, pigeons are a pretty old hobby. I mean, pigeons have been domesticated since, well, they're one of the earliest domesticated animals.
Yeah.
They were, brought in. Noah had pigeons on his ark.
I guess he must have, right?
That's right. And in early days in the Olympics, they used to release pigeons. They kept pigeons and released them for messaging to let everyone know who the winners were. Throughout the later, Genghis Khan kept pigeons. I mean, all the great warriors kept pigeons for, racing and homing pigeons for, to carry messages all over the country and world.
You hear that little dude? You got some proud lineage.
Yeah. Yeah. In the current times, in the 19th centuries, and that we've been using them a lot of times during the wars. The Great World War I, World War II, they were used to carry messages. G.I. Joe basically was a famous awarded messenger, saved the Lost Battalion during the First World War. That was Cherami. And G.I. Joe saved probably 1,000 or more than 1,000 villagers in the town of one of the Italian towns during the Second World War. And there's probably as many Dickens medals awarded by the English for pigeons as there are for dogs or any other animal.
For heroism, right?
For heroism.
So as a collector of pigeons, first of all, how many do you have? And this guy up here, by the way, he's walking around thinking he's Sam Cantro, I noticed. Well, he's sticking out his chest.
He's calling a
cocky
that's guy. Pygmy powder, and he's a pretty proud guy, so he likes to strut his
Hence
stuff.
the Sam Cantro.
Yeah. So.
And so when how many do you have?
We keep usually about 60 birds in the backyard, and
really?
My son and grandsons, and we all have a group of birds scattered around. But typically, a fancier will keep anywhere from a couple of birds to maybe 50, 60 birds, somewhere up in that area. We break out the hobby itself into like 3 different areas. The first area is basically what we call performing areas. Performing areas are where we would have birds like racing pigeons, rollers, which basically fly in the sky in your backyard and tumble on down.
Okay.
And do little acrobatics. Yep,
wow.
Exactly. Or high flyers that stay up in the air for numerous hours. As long as there's sunlight, they'll stay up in the air. We've got the show pigeons. A lot of these here are show pigeons, basically bred like you would say an AKC dog show, where you have people come in and judge the birds based on standard of perfection. Each one of these birds has its own standard of perfection, like a German Shepherd or a poodle or any of the other breeds of dogs or cats.
Wow.
Same thing in pigeons. There's about 200 different breeds of pigeons.
It's fascinating. So the proper term is a fancier, is that right? I think I heard you say.
Yeah, a pigeon fancier.
And how does somebody join your group, by the way?
We've got a website. Basically faircountclub.com. It's up on the web. We also have a pretty good-sized show of about 100 or plus birds over at the Orange Country Fair during the month of September. Plus we have our own show, which is an annual show, which is usually held in Ansonia, and we'll have anywhere from 500 to 1,000 birds at the do you do any homing activities with them, like training them to some of the birds up, like this one right above my shoulder here, is that one's a racing homer, and basically he's bred for perfection, not necessarily to be a good-looking bird, but to be bred for performance.
So they're smarter than no offense, but they're smarter than they look.
They're very intelligent because if you were to be taken, say, a couple hundred miles from your house, and dropped off on the street, do you think you'd make it home that day?
Probably not. Oops. See, this is why I'm not a fancier. I'm not very good at it. But you can train them to do all those things, but you can't keep them off the city statues.
Well, there's a little different in lineage between the common birds that are up and the feral birds that are up on the streets.
This is really interesting. No, hey, you know what? I'd never thought I'd hold a pigeon. They're so cool. Thank you very much, Greg Kapp, with the Faircount Association, Pigeon Association. Yeah, appreciate you coming in. And we're going to fly on over to. Are we flying over to? No, Sam's done with his stuff for the moment. I think we're going to break right now, but we'll be right back. Maybe we can get another look at these guys a little bit too.
Very good.